has received our all clear, and we will be pulling out of the depot at any moment. As we get ready to depart, let me remind you of a couple of the safety rules you'll need to know for our trip today. Please remember to remain seated at all times. This does include small children, as they are not permitted to stand on your lap, on the seat, or on the floor. If you have small children in your group, please have them sit in the center portion of your seat with an adult on the outside edges. Also, remember to keep all body parts inside the car at all times, and the use of tobacco products is not permitted during our trip. Thank you.
I gotta make that right. I'm gonna stay on the wait this time. I'm doing that whole we did last time.
All right, folks, we'll be moving out of here in just a few seconds. Please remain seated at all times. And make sure you keep all small children in the middle of each row with the adults on the outside edges.
Nadie se va a subir ahí, no podrá pasar por ahí. Pero ¿cómo? Me brinco.
Don't get in my way from a picture.
All right, folks, now we'll move a little bit. Everybody in the last few cars, look over to the left in the middle of the depot. Wave goodbye to the depot masters, Matt and Michael on the left waving at you. Tell them we'll see them in a day or two, a week at the most. But we've never been gone longer than a week. Bye-bye, guys. See you in about a week or so. We here at Dollar Weather consider one of the friendliest places in the Smokies, and we'd like to keep it that way. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Go on the count of three as loud as you can. On the count of three, let's all say howdy on three. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, get those hands up, wave these folks out there. Come on, get your hands up and wave at them. Come on, wave at them. Come on, wave at them.
What?
Howdy, everybody.
What?
Coming up on the right-hand side of the train is Dollarwood's famous gristmill, home of that delicious cinnamon bread. If you haven't had any of that cinnamon bread yet, make sure you find at least 2 loaves because one will not make it back to your car. Wave at Daphne on the left over here, wave them back at you. Come on, wave at her, she's on the left. Let me tell you all a little bit about this piece of road history right behind the scenes. 1941, after attack on Pearl Harbor, beginning of World War II, was determined by the U.S. Army to use the highway through Alaska for its protection. So in 1942, the U.S. Army took over the White Pass and Yukon Railroad, started moving material supplies and personnel to build the Alcan Military Highway. April 1943, the Barbara locomotive once out of Evansville, Pennsylvania, built this Narragansett Costall engine 192. She weighs 211,000 pounds and a 282 locomotive. That 282 simply means 2 small wheels in the front, 8 large drive wheels in the middle, 2 small wheels in the back. After she's completely shipped off to Skagway, Alaska, worked on the Alcan Military Highway. Thunderhead, the wildest ride in the woods. Also up there passage that green roller coaster called the Dragon Flyer up there in Wildwood Grove. sales and tons of material supplies and personnel sell buying this train and others just like her. The 34 trains a day used in the road construction, and in 9 months what seemed impossible became possible. The Alcan Military Highway was completed. I bet you didn't know you right about a true veteran of World War II. We are Dollywood proud of all veterans of all branches of service, and our thoughts and prayers for those on active duty today. 1960 was in 192 was retired, and in 1961 an East Tennessee theme park named Rebel Railroad Punchestown. And that's what she became known as Klondike Katie. The Klondike Trains are made with the railroad apart from Rebel Railroad, the Gold Rush Junction, the Silver Dollar City to the present day Dollywood, where he continues the tradition of hard work. Sit back and relax and enjoy the city of wonders with a flavor of epic coffee. Cruising to the engine as it goes up the mountain, and imagine you're back in 1851 behind Tennessee's first city museum at Tennessee. Folks, now remain seated. They've just spotted a black bear up here. Okay, it's up here around the corner on the left-hand side. Remain seated, folks. Remain seated. Around the corner on the left side, there's a black bear. Wait a second. Folks, never mind. It's already gone. Over here on the right, Wildwood Grove. Now that's one of the best places to show the drone show tonight. And that's where that dance party's already started on the right side over here. Whoa. Wildwood Grove on the right. The way you get into Wildwood Grove is you go right across from History Mine. That's where the entrance to Wildwood Grove is located. So make sure you check it out tonight, folks. As soon as you get off the train, walk right up here to Wildwood Grove. Coming up on the right-hand side is Wilderness Pass. We'll talk a little bit more about that on the way back down. Wilderness Pass on the right. That's where that foam pool is on the right side. The foam pool is down there on the right side. That blue looking area with all that stuff inside of it, all that foam.
What?
The Cherokee Indians called these mountains the place of the blue smoke. It's the natural habitat of more flowering plants and trees than anywhere else in the United States. You can hear the music in the air of over 200 different species of birds. Monkeys is a never-ending song that changes with each season and with each pair of eyes. And we here at Dollywood are really proud of Klondike Katie and the guys and gals who operate her so much so well we like her to show off every once in a while. So what do you say, everyone? Would y'all like to hear some music on that Bollywood locomotive whistle? I said, would y'all like to hear some music on that whistle? All right, on the count of 2, let's tell the engineer to blow the whistle. Y'all ready? 1, 2, 3, blow the whistle! Klondike Katie saying thank you very much. Now, the Great Smoky Mountain National Park was established in 1934. It is the most visited national park in America with over 14.5 million visitors last year.
I bet you got it right up there too,
Now, coming up on the left-hand side of the train, if you look to the left at the very top of the mountain, you're going to see a really big house up there on the left-hand side at the very top of the mountain. Guess whose house that is, folks? Guess whose house that is? I have no idea. It's a rental cabin. Now, there used to be a thing up here called an outhouse, kids. If you don't know what an outhouse was used for, ask your parents. If your parents aren't sure, ask your grandparents. I'm sure they can tell you. But I know for a fact the outhouse was used for two main purposes. Number one and number two. Now we're going downhill for the rest of the ride here, folks. Please remain seated and be safe because we have some of the finest brakes in America for this train. And they said they're going to put them on next week for us, so don't worry. Coming up on the left-hand side through the trees, that green roller coaster down there is called the Fire Chaser Express. A dual launch roller coaster, which means it goes both forwards and backwards. No loops, no drops, just fast-moving curves. You only have to be 39 inches tall to get on that ride. It goes about 34.5 miles an hour. That big blue roller coaster behind it is called the Wild Eagle. The Wild Eagle will take you up 21 stories, drop you 13 stories into a giant 110-foot loop, which speeds in excess of 60 miles an hour. Might be the most exciting 2 minutes and 22 seconds you have in the park this evening. Show of hands, who's been on the Wild Eagle? All right, 12 people. That's great. Show of hands, who's not even going to get on that Wild Eagle? Oh my goodness! The feathers are flying everywhere. Y'all go to that Wild Eagle merchandise shop down there. Get yourself a big old bright yellow t-shirt and it says, I'm a chicken. On the left is Wildwood Grove. The party's already started up here, folks.
Come on, you robbers, if you wanna hear the story about a brave engineer. K Street Jones was the roller's mate on a 6-8-wheeler for the both of fame. Caller called Casey about a 4:30. He kissed his wife past the station door, climbed in the cabin with his orders in his hand, said, this is the trip to the promised land. Casey Jones climbed in the cabin, Casey Jones, orders in his hand, Casey Jones, leading out to London, taking a trip to the promised land.
Now, folks, we are now entering Boogertown, Tennessee, home to that world-famous Boogertown farm, where you pick 'em. Folks, we are now leaving Boogertown, Tennessee.
Small, but the man at the throttle was Casey Jones. Well, Jones said, "Farmer, don't you fret. Slim Will said I ain't a-giving up yet. With 8 hours late with the southbound mail, be on time or we'll leave the rails." Casey Jones climbed in the cabin. Casey Jones, orders in his hand. Casey Jones, leaning out the window, making a trip to the promised land.
Over on the left, folks, that's where that drone show is going to be going from. 500 drones will be up in the air doing all kinds of things for you tonight. Now that will be around 9:40 tonight, so make sure you stay around for that. On the count of 3, let's give them a big howdy on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Howdy! Folks, look to the left side of the engine, way top fireman up there. That's Wayne. Come on, everybody, get your hands up and wave at him. Come on, wave at him. Get those hands up. This engine operates today just like it did when it was first built in 1943. On a busy day, Klondike Katie will use 5 tons of coal, bring 5,000 gallons of water, bring between 4,000 to 6,000 people up and down this mountain. Here at Dollar, we're really proud of Klondike Katie and the guys and gals who operate her. Hope y'all enjoy traveling behind her just as much as we do. Well, folks, be careful. We're now coming into the most dangerous part of the park. That's just where all those yellow cats are located, so please be careful going through this area, folks. Please be careful. On the left is Timber Canyon, home to the 5-time award-winning wooden roller coaster Thunderhead, also home to Mystery Mine. High-speed steel roller coaster with white knuckle loop will drop you 85 feet straight down in the darkened mine shaft.
Dead on the rail was a passenger train. What was the falling and Casey's brain? Casey says, hey, look out ahead, Sam, jump, Oh, dead. Blew my hand on the whistle and I handle the brake. North Mississippi was wide awake. I see him lay on the official slip. He's a good engineer to be a laying dead. Casey Jones climbed in the cabin. Casey Jones, waters in his hand. Casey Jones, leaning out the window, taking a trip to the promised land. Headaches and heartaches